Welcome, and thank you for watching our second section on an introduction to SoilMix with a focus on biochar. I'm Jennifer, CEO of Natrasolve, a sustainable solutions company dedicated to a clean earth. Today what we're doing is our second step in the testing process of two types of biochar. What we've done here is take 1 liter of water and we've spiked it with a common liquid fertilizer. This is going to help us to provide a baseline for testing against materials that were both treated and untreated. So over on this side is our control. These are our control chips and these are our control pellets. Both are made of wood. On this side we also have the chips and the pellets, and both of those have been also added 1 liter of water with the same amount of the liquid fertilizer. We've duplicated that in each and we've let them sit for about 15 hours to allow the liquid fertilizer to work, and that was done after letting our soil mix sit in the biochar for a 24-hour window. We did this so that the active components within the soil mix can really get into the biochar and inoculate it. What we're going to do today is take some initial 16 parameter test strips. We'll be testing the water against our control that comes out of here, and in the future we're going to take our aerated biochar that we've still got going and test some other things like hydrocarbons and compost. Watch for those coming up on our YouTube. Today it's going to get a little messy, so we'll add some gloves here. And I've got my notebook back here already outlined with the parameters that we're going to be testing. I do that because the test strips only stay the color that they change to for so long, so you do want to get the information down in about 30 seconds. So I write it all out so it's organized ahead of time. These are super simple. And one other thing I'm actually going to do is take a photo. At home you're not going to be able to see on the video exactly what these look like, and so we'll also have some photos available. So we're going to stick the test strip in there for about 2 seconds. We're going to take a quick photo. And then I'm going to jot down all of the different parameters that I see and the numbers that come out. So on the pH, we've got a 7, hardness is 100, hydrogen sulfide is at a 0.5, iron is at a 0, lead is at a 5, just a little above a 5, I'd say a 5 to a 7. Manganese is at 0. Total chlorine is just above a 0.5. And then we've got chlorine. Oh, we already wrote the chlorine down, sorry. Mercury is not detectable on there. Nitrates look a little high. And their color changed a little bit. So I'm going to put a 10 and a 1, and then we're going to verify as well off camera just to verify this test. I always test twice. You get different results sometimes, and like I said, the colors change. So I'll start at the top the first time and go down, and then the next time I start at the bottom and work my way up. Sulfates are at 1600. Zinc is at about a 5. Fluoride is about a 5. Sodium chloride is a 100, just below 100. I'm going to put 90. And alkalinity comes out at 80. So now what we're going to do, and we won't do them all on camera, we'll do a couple of them on camera, and then the rest we will record for you and post in a separate video just for the sake of your time. So the first one we're going to pull the lid off of here is we're going to actually do the pellets today. The pellets were exciting because they got really, really active as soon as we started adding our soil mix to the biochar. It was fascinating. It was bubbling like a little cauldron. So I'm going to pour this out of here. And I actually have one thing I forgot to grab. I'm going to strain this through some cheesecloth just so it holds on to some of those materials. And we've already made a little bit of a biochar and water incident. It's not the funnest thing in the world. But we're just going to strain some of this water out of there. And this is the control. So this just has water and biochar with the water that we've spiked with the nutrients. And then over here, on a separate part of our cheesecloth, we're going to take some out of the treated pellets. These were sent to us from all the way around the world from a new partner. And so we're looking to do some pretty interesting things in biochar. Overall, it seems to be a wonderful application method for our product because the biology has a better home, place to live, good water and oxygen coming through. So we help to get things out like hydrocarbons, biosolids, and pathogenic waste. And there we go. And heavy metals, which are not things that biochar can necessarily get to on its own. It does some great other things like capture tire dust, which is a pretty epic problem. And so we are partnering up with a lot of different companies around the globe in biochar to help inoculate it with some living and beneficial bacteria and fungi, helping them get to some other materials that they wouldn't otherwise get to. So we're done with the super messy part. I'll take a couple of these test strips, well, kind of the messy part, and we're going to test the control and snap a quick photo of that for you. Once again, we're going to stick it in there about 2 seconds. Put that one right next to it so we know it's the second. And then we're going to jot down these levels as well. So our pH is 8.3. Hardness is at a 60. Hydrogen sulfide still is 0. Iron is still a 0. Copper is a 0.1. Lead is a 5. Manganese 0. Chlorine still looks a little off, so we're going to put 0.5 and a little question mark because that one's testing. The color's coming out a little different than anything on the strips. Same with the nitrates and nitrites, and they did that on the last one as well. So we'll take a second look at that. We have different methodologies to test. 800 is sulfates. So we'll be also reinforcing this with our soil tests and some additional water tests. Zinc we have at a 5. Fluoride is about a 5. Sodium chloride, it's really high. It's almost to a 2000. And our total alkalinity is at a 120. That's our second test, and now we're going to test against our treated pellet sample. That will be the last one we'll do here on this video. The other tests from the chips will be available in short clips, and we'll have photos of these strips as well online so you can see the color variations between treated and untreated. Alright, last one. pH is a 9. Hardness is a 50. Hydrogen sulfide and iron are both at zeros. Copper is at 0.1. Lead is at, say, a 6. Total chlorine is still looking weird. Mercury is a 0. Nitrates and nitrites are still both a brown color, which isn't on the strip, so we'll verify another way. Sulfates are at 1200. Zinc, 0. Fluoride, 0. Sodium chlorine has changed colors, and total alkalinity is somewhere between the 40 to 80. That's it for our strip tests. So we will put some follow-up on here on what these mean, and we will also be testing after a longer period of time. So one of the things with biology is it continues to work and gets better over time. It does not deplete like a chemical would. And so we're going to keep these samples aerated. We're going to be repeating these tests in 3 days, 7 days, and in 21 days, as well as testing some other materials. My name's Jennifer. Thank you so much for watching this introduction to SoilMix with an emphasis on biochar.